Want to organize your home like they do on Home Edit or one of those Instagram accounts? Well, organizing does not always produce a simpler life. I'll show you why. I'm Dara. I help people live a more minimalist lifestyle so they can focus on what matters most without getting overwhelmed along the way. If you'd like to live a simpler life, stay tuned for more videos like this one. Organizing and simplifying are not synonymous. They are related and sometimes exist simultaneously, but there are notable differences between an organized home and a simple life. I focus on the goal of simplicity to gain freedom, peace, and to be able to focus on what matters. More time available and less money that you have to spend are two typical results of a simple life versus just an organized one. So with organizing, we are grouping like items together under a specific category. And this is generally done in a manner that is very neat and tidy. Organizing tends to result in everything having a home in your home. So organizing helps you locate the items that you need to get. These are all good things, especially if you organize with simplicity in mind and organize with your own personality type and your own tendencies in mind too. But organizing still is only a small part of creating a minimalist and simpler life. Just think, you can organize your time really, really well, have a really tight calendar, and end up spending a lot of time on things that don't matter to you. So you're organized, but your life isn't any simpler. In fact, you can organize your home so meticulously that it ends up taking you longer to put things away because of how you have everything set up. In other words, even within organizing, different organizing approaches are more effective than others. So here's an example. Imagine a bookshelf filled with a bunch of artfully arranged books interspersed with decorative items that are very aesthetically pleasing, and everything kind of blends well together. And everything is really, really well color coordinated. So all the books are based on the colors. And that would look really organized, right? Like everything perfectly arranged, very aesthetically pleasing. But how does this actually help you? What if you're keeping half of those books just by default? Some you're never gonna read, or you did read but actually didn't like, or you have no reason to look at again. And the decorative items I reference, what if they're completely meaningless? You just went to the store and bought them because they would look nice on the bookshelf. You're not displaying any of the memorabilia that you're keeping. And because of the sheer number of books on the bookshelf, navigating to actually find the book you're looking for, because they're not organized by topic, author, title, you actually have trouble finding the book that you're looking for. And isn't that the whole point of having books and having them on a bookcase and organizing? This is a missed opportunity for efficiency, for simplicity, and for making sure that what you have in your home is meaningful and being used by you. I've seen the pictures, they look gorgeous, but artfully arranged bookcases that don't go through the downsizing process and really focus on the attributes I mentioned are just pretty pictures. Let me give you another example. I was working with a client who had recently retired, and she had a sort of ugly looking box underneath her desk where she would throw any meaningful note or letter somebody gave her. And she had a few of these actually stored elsewhere, but she had one actively underneath her desk. And when we were talking about this, I had thought about, having us go through all of them and picking out just the ones that she really wanted to keep and putting them in nice bins and boxes. But I realized very quickly that that didn't make sense. That would have been a huge waste of time. We had way more important things to do in her home. And she had even said that she was throwing them in there because she imagined that when she had more time and retired and didn't have as many volunteer commitments, that was going to be a really fun activity for her. She likes watching television at night, and she knew that she can kind of go through a handful of them over time with the intention of actually tossing them. Had we sat and organized them by date or person or category, that would have been a huge waste of time. She was actually saving them because she thought of the activity of going through them at a later time as being something she was looking forward to. And yeah, sure, she might keep a few of them and those can be kept and organized in a bin later, but this is a perfect example of where the attempt to organize something actually doesn't simplify or save time. Now, these are very basic examples, actually. We have much bigger complexities hidden in our garages and our offices. This is why minimalism is so important, because we actually just get rid of a bunch of stuff we don't really need. But in doing so, we can sort of unpack these complexities. That's why we always downsize first, and organizing is always the very last step in the process. We want to set up systems that are going to work with our downsized spaces, and buying that cute bin or that, fun organizer is left for the end. So why do most people do things the opposite way, right? Why do we organize instead of simplify? Well, number one reason is that it's easier. And number two is that it produces a very quick visual appeal. And I'll add to that it involves oftentimes buying something. And the number one question clients ask me before we start working together is, what can I buy before you come? My answer is always nothing. And it's really easy to mistake organization for simplicity, because when you look at an organized space, it looks simple. Undoing complexity takes time and mental energy, and can be really difficult to undo if you become really used to whatever system you have. It's hard to think outside your own box. But if you don't get yourself distracted by the aesthetics, if you don't run out to buy something, if you don't take the easy way, you'll find that you will have a much more efficient space that's peaceful, and systems that will save you a lot of time and money in the long run. So the funny thing is that sometimes a simple life means not spending time organizing things. Organizing is a tool that can be used when creating simplicity, but it's not the objective. A simple life is. So pay closer attention to whether your actions are meant to organize or to simplify, and whether all of these tools and objectives together address what's most meaningful and important to you. For more information about minimalism and how to make your life easier, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when a new video releases. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a like so I know that you're listening.